So finally, after 30 plus years, you finally get a sword. Why did somebody not do this all those years ago? It seems silly for him not to have a sword. But then again, now he's got the sword, but he doesn't have the samurai armor. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're concluding our look at Legacy Evolution figures, at least until I find some of the others, with probably one of the hardest ones I've had to find. This is Bludgeon. Now this guy here, this is my second attempt actually at getting a Bludgeon figure. First one was sent by a friend of my brother's, and I do want to give a shout out to Pamela. I do appreciate the gesture. I'm just sorry the one that you picked up was broken. But again, I still thank you for trying all the same. Yes, the figure that she had gotten me, the chest plate was cracked right around here. So that pretty much meant whenever I'd lift his chest plate to transform him, there would be a little fragment left in, attached to that tank tread. I don't know how it got broken. You know, it could have been broken at the store, it could have been broken in shipment, either to the store or from where she got it to me. For all I know, maybe our friend, maybe the mutual friend who held on to it, their stupid cat could have done it. Nah, I doubt the cat would have done it. Not the way that was. I doubt the cat did it. But I know there's a bunch of people that hate cats out there. They can blame the cat if they want. But I won't blame the cat. And at any rate, this version of Bludgeon is listed on its package and on the instructions here as being from the comic universe and not the Generation 1 version. So, it's a little bit of a stretch, but we'll still compare him a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have the Generation 1 version here with me. As you can tell by the different surroundings, we're someplace else. We're not at my home. It's nice to get away once in a while, but reviews still got to get done. I guess that's also the benefits of not having a life partner around. I can do this sort of thing. Now, the Generation 1 continuity, Bludgeon was a pretender. He was one of the later ones to get released. He was basically a small pretender because he was one that would have been released on card. He was noticeably in bright orange samurai armor, but his face was done up as a skeleton. So it looked like a human skull, wearing a samurai helmet and having orange armor. The biggest upset, like Larry pointed out, was that he did not come with a sword at that time. You know, he had the samurai motif going for him, but he didn't come with a signature weapon. So that was a major disappointment. So it's nice to see he's finally getting one. Although, like Larry pointed out, now he doesn't have the armor. I guess Bludgeon just can't win. And many of you have probably already noticed he does look familiar, because he is basically a repaint and retooling of Tarn, character that we reviewed earlier on. And Tarn turned out to be a pretty decent figure, and it's nice to see Bludgeon and a lot of the other pretenders getting brought back into the mainstream. I mean, the changes to them, I know that's been a bit of a mixed bag with the G1 fans, but I've just been more glad they've brought them back for modern audiences to see them again. The Pretender line was a silly gimmick, but The last attempt to bring them back was in the Power of the Primes line, and all those were was just armored suits to hide the Prime Masters, not actual characters. So the Legacy line has done wonders in bringing back some long-forgotten characters. At any rate, Bludgeon was also stated to be a master of a Cybertronian martial art known as Metallicato. The word actually is Finnish in origins, and it actually means loss of metal when translated to English. Not much in the Transformer lore is really talked about Metallicato, but it apparently involves a lot of spiritual connections and bladed weaponry. So, I guess it fits him more now that he's finally got the sword. Alright, let's take a look at Bludgeon's accessories, and we will start with that prized sword. It is kind of done up to be sort of resemblance to a Japanese-style sword. And it doesn't quite have the curve in the blade that's more associated with a katana. So, take that as you may, fans. But it's still nice to see that he finally has a sword, you know. He's a practitioner of a martial arts that uses bladed weapons, and it took this many years to finally get a bladed weapon for him. And all in all, it does look rather nice. And it even has a little post here on it, so that if you wanted to, you can even store it on his backside. Getting it in there is a bit of a challenge. There we go. And he can carry his sword like that. That's a nice look for him. Right now we don't want it on there. It'll get in the way of things. Then next up is, of course, his gun. As you can see, that's one of the ways he can hold it. You can mount it to his wrist. Or if you want to go old school, you can put it in his hands. Like Tarn's, it is done up as 3 pieces. You have this one barrel here. That pretty much looks sideways, but it's got the sight at the end of the barrel facing upwards, so it's facing the right way. And then you have this one that's a little more boxy in the back end. And then, of course, we have this piece in the center. It also features a rotating plate at the bottom of it. You definitely want to take notice that it is in a dark red color, which matches the red on Bludgeon. Just like the guns are painted in orange, which again matches the colors on Bludgeon. Because there will be some dumb vendors out there that'll take Tarn pieces and put them on Bludgeon, and vice versa, and try to claim the toy is complete, in the hopes that desperate collectors will buy it, even though it is not truly complete. I've seen it happen before numerous times. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to start this channel, so that I can inform the community to watch for that. At any rate, let's take a look now at Bludgeon's articulation, because he's a bigger toy than the toys we reviewed most of the month. So he should be a little different. His head can turn from side to side. I do like how the head is styled like a samurai helmet, like the helmet featured on samurai armor. That is a nice touch. it is something that does nicely harken back to the Generation 1. Now, if only the face looked more skull-like, I'd have liked that too. But at any rate, the head is on a small ball joint. It will rock up and down a bit. You can raise his arms up about so high, and they fully rotate at the shoulder all the way around. You can bend his arm at the elbow a little greater than 90 degrees, and he does have a good swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe battle grip. You can twist him here at his hips. And how far you see me going with him is as far as he will go. There is a mechanism that is stopping it. It's his hip, basically his hip piece ramming against his backpack, so don't force it if you don't think you can do it any further. Before too long, we should mention that his fingers can be pulled out, so you can open and close his hands. That's a nice touch. You can spread his legs apart into just about a full splits. He has a thigh cut going for him. More the one way than the other. You can raise his leg at the hip a little greater than 90 degrees. You can bend his leg at the knee even greater than that. And he does have articulation at the ankle. So, all in all, he's got some pretty impressive moves on him. Now, if only he was balanced properly so that you could do some martial arts poses. Okay, to transform Bludgeon, it's pretty much the same way as it is with Tarn. There isn't really any real changes to him, but we'll still go through it anyways, especially for the benefit of those of you who weren't here with Tarn. You'll start by taking the guns on his back, you fold them down, and press them against this piece here in the center. Then we're going to pop it free from his back to fold it down a bit, and then rotate it around. So now the guns are pointing back up again. And then once we've done that, you'll come up here to his head and fold it into this exposed cavity. Get it in as best you can. There we go. Takes a little finagling, but the head does go in that cavity there. And we now turn him around to face forward. Rotate his arms upward so they're in a nice surrender pose. And then you're going to pop the chest piece free and fold it up just a little bit. Only about as far as it'll go. Then you'll come here to his shoulders and you're going to pull them outwards a bit. They don't go out much, so don't force it. Once you've got them totally clear, they should be able to rotate like that. There we go. Got them both freed. First time. That is a little bit more difficult than it looks in some cases. Alright, once we've got the arms folded back like that, you can finish folding up the chest shield. Up to that point, so it's done. Come down here to his legs and press his legs together. So that keeps them together. Now we're going to turn him around. You rotate the arms at the shoulders so they come down. That means now the front treads should be up against the chest shield now. So then once you've done that, then you can fold the backpack back down. Kind of fold it straight down here in front. Now it folds down more further down. So that way it kind of covers up everything back here. It also has a small post that should connect to a hole in his pelvic region. There we go, got it in. Then we're going to come down here to his feet. We fold the feet up like so. So I want us to start bending his legs at the elbow a bit, at the knee a bit. Where the heck did I come up with elbow? Oh, we're tripping today, folks. This is what we get for being away from home base. But every once in a while, a man's got to get away. Alright, get them separated from the knees, then put them together. That'll help do it. Alright, then we come up here to his arms now. Okay, like this. Once you got the arms up, turn them at the elbow like so. So you got these green pieces facing us. We'll come up here and we'll rotate his hands so that we can now see his thumbs. Just exactly like that. Then these green pieces, they're separate, so they should hinge up and over. Just like that. Now that we've done that, you'll bend them at the elbow, and then right here at the upper arm, they should also fold inward. You'll see there's a post protruding from what was his legs. Well, you'll see right here on the forearm, just above the elbow, there is a hole to line it up with. So line those up and attach them in to help hold the arms down. And then there you go. Once you got the arms in, come out to these side treads, and they should fold outward. They open up. You probably heard it pop there. So once you've done that, they are hinged, so then now you can fold them so they go around and help conceal the arms. Unfortunately, they will not conceal his hands, a slight design flaw. Once you've got them folded over and in place, and snapped in, just fold the flaps down, and they'll help smooth out the bottom of the vehicle. Then we finally come back up here and finish getting the legs folded down. The feet should connect to this lower turret. And then the tank mode is more or less complete. But it needs a big turret gun. So we get the connector piece, rotate the gray piece underneath it so that this post is at the front. And then you attach the guns like so. You'll see down here on the bottom there's a couple of straight posts, and those will happen to connect into these holes right here on the top. Just mount them in, and there you have it. Bludgeon is in his tank mode. And of course, if you don't want to lose the sword, well, the sword can be pegged on either side of the tank. It looks kind of silly that way, but it ensures you won't lose it. That's always something. Unfortunately now, they didn't give him any wheels or even wheels underneath. All he's got underneath are a few bumps that you can probably see to help rise him up a little bit so you can putter him along on a smooth surface. But other than that, they really don't do him any good. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Bludgeon? Well, it is great that the character has been brought back to the modern world. I'm only slightly disappointed that they reused Tarn's body for him. I mean, I think they could have done better, but I also know they could have done a lot worse too. So it's kind of a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other kind of a dealie. I do like the fact that it finally gives Bludgeon a long-awaited sword. But if there is a major disappointment, it would be in the fact that he doesn't have any little wee wheels underneath him to allow him to roll better. Because, I mean, even on this very, very smooth table, those stiff pieces they put down there really don't do him any justice. Moving him around is more of a chore than anything else. But then again, if you're buying this for your child as a toy, they probably won't mind it. But as an adult collector, a lot of them probably will mind it, just as much as they will probably mind the fact that you can see his fists clearly out the back of the tank. Well, we could always ask for worse. They could have made each individual finger on his hands able to be articulated. And then some of us adult fans would definitely leave a message out the back of the tank. Take that as you may. At any rate, that's my review of the Legacy Evolution version of Bludgeon. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content we feature on this channel, I would appreciate a like, a share, a comment, and even a subscription. Now, next month, we're going to totally go old school for it. We're going to take a long look at some of the Autobot cars from the Generation 1 era as part of my tribute to the 40th anniversary of the Transformers. So, please look forward to that. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.